and girls, we are finally here. We are finally here. Super Bowl's this Sunday. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot. We have a lot to discuss today. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. I feel like I've slept under a rock and the whole world's changed on me. So we got a lot to discuss. Obviously, Super Bowl this weekend, this Sunday. Got to discuss that. Had some major trades at the NBA deadline to discuss as well. This kind of goes without saying, but got to talk about my boy Kendrick Lamar and halftime show as well with SZA, might I add. You know what, man? I just can't believe this. We are finally here. Like, this is the last weekend of the NFL season. And I have no words. I really don't. I wish I do have the words to say. I'm speechless. It feels like not too long ago, the season just started, and we were all trying to figure out who was real and who was fake. We're in the Super Bowl. We're in the Super Bowl, man. So, got a lot to dive into in that regard. Thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, we're going to have a lot of fun today. Apologies for the late start. Had a little overnight shift blunder this morning, so had to regroup and get myself together. So a little bit of a late start, but we're here now. And wow. Well, I don't even know where to start. Eric Allen, yep, very excited. Saw that last night as well. Congratulations to all of the Hall of Famers that are going to be inducted into Canton this August, if I'm not mistaken. It's a prestigious honor for sure. Definitely deserve it. Obviously, we have some snubs, but you know, not everybody gets in. So, you know, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But I don't know, man. Where do we even start? Let's start with this. Saw a report yesterday. Actually, I'm sorry. Was it Wednesday? Wednesday or Tuesday? There was a report that came out that said Jalen Carter has an illness and he didn't practice. Now, obviously, the news is a lot better because he did practice yesterday, but it was still obnoxious to see that Jalen Carter, a guy who's been dominant all season long, just so happens to, out of nowhere, get this illness that affects the team on the week of the Super Bowl. Just saying. I'm gonna just leave that there, okay? That was just insane to see. Like, I was just sitting there, I'm like, Jalen Carter, I don't think I've ever seen him on the injury report a day in my life. Now all of a sudden he has an illness? Really? Oh my God. It would be one of the best players on the team. I'm just saying. Not saying that would be a reason why we don't win this game or whatever the case may be, but just seeing that was just kind of like, oh, brother. Here we go with all these conspiracy theorists, you know, saying this about the Chiefs and what. Goes on and on. Look, can we just play the game? That's really where I'm at this point. But seeing that was kind of like crazy. Like I was like, yo, come on, man. This is kind of unreal. So that's gonna be something to closely monitor. But man, look, I just want to talk about what this game will mean for whoever wins this game. Let's start with Kansas City. Now, Kansas City with Mahomes, if Mahomes wins this one, this will be ring number 4 before he turns 30. This would also mean that he is not far from catching Brady. Might even mess around and surpass him at this rate. And that's pretty dangerous. I ain't gonna lie. Just that aspect alone is very dangerous within itself. But you would have to put him in the conversation for arguably the best of all time. You really would. He wins this one. He's a part of a three-peat, which not very many teams can say that that's transpired. Oh wait, that's because it hasn't happened. Yeah, it would be pretty insane for him to be a quarterback that leads that group to that. And then you know what it also says as far as Patrick Mahomes is concerned? That the regular season doesn't matter. Like all year long, like literally the past 2 seasons, we're like, what's going on with Kansas City? We're losing to the Raiders here. We're losing here. We're losing to Buffalo on the road. What's going on with Kansas City? It literally doesn't matter how they play. As long as they some way, somehow end up to be the top 2 seeds in the AFC, that's all they need. And look, obviously it works. So that would be an interesting conversation that people might start having. That, like, you know, should we really factor in taking the regular season serious? Because I just saw a team who has won the Super Bowl 3 straight years, and they've literally been sluggish on offense, have been inconsistent, and they find a way to just turn a notch when it comes to the playoffs. So what should we be doing? That would have to be an honest question. Andy Reid, who's already a Hall of Famer in my book. Excuse me. Like I said, that blunder was real. I think with him winning this one, especially with him saying that, like he's coming back next year, like it just y'all know that tweet from, it feels like eons ago, where someone said about LeBron that he's finally turning 30, so this fuckery cannot go on for much longer. And then you look up and he's 40. And then last night had 42 and 17 and 8. Like, first of all, guy's insane. We'll get into the Lakers in a little bit too, because they did something pretty crazy. But I feel the same way about Andy Reid. I really do. Because it just feels like this guy, I don't understand it anymore. It feels like all he does is win now. Like he doesn't know how to lose. He doesn't know how to lose. And I think if he wins this one, obviously we understand that there's more coaches that have more rings and, you know, have obviously had made more Super Bowl appearances. There's not very many coaches that can say they've been a part of a three-peat. Okay, so I'm just saying, like, that would have to be a real discussion to be had as far as who's the greatest coach of all time. And like I said, man, as an innocent bystander, as a fan of the NFL and a fan of this team in particular, he's going to be back next year. And if he's back next year with another ring, look out. Oof. I think for Travis Kelce, him getting yet another one, like, I think it kind of cements himself as far as how dominant he's been, and he can actually go out on top. I know there's been a lot of speculation about him retiring this year. I don't know. Something tells me that he still has something left in the tank. There's probably some records that he wants to shatter for good, and it's only up to him to do it. But I'm not gonna lie, man. He wins another one. Especially if he plays well in this game. Yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. I know I love the newly inducted now, Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez, Gronk, all that, Kellen Winslow. I hear you. It's Travis Kelce, guys. So that would be a whole nother conversation to have. And we flip over to Philly. And I think with Nick Sirianni winning his first Super Bowl in a year where me, you, everyone wanted him fired, and rightfully so. He wins the Super Bowl, man. He's here to stay. Like, seriously. Like, it's kind of hard to push him out the door. It was hard to push him out the door when we got to the NFC Championship game. When we won that thing, he basically punched his ticket for the next 2 to 3 years to be the Eagles head coach. And if he wins the Super Bowl, sheesh, it's going to be some uncomfortable conversations to have. A lot of these coaches, they get touted as, being in the conversation for one of the best when it comes to CEO coaches. Like we always talk about Mike Tomlin and, John Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, you know what I'm saying? We always talk about those guys. Just saying, man, Nick wins this one. Like, might have to have some uncomfortable conversations, unfortunately. It sounds crazy to say, but it's the truth. So that alone would be a lot for him. Jalen Hurts winning one. Jalen Hurts wins this Super Bowl. Like, especially if the man wins MVP, which we'll get into the next guy in a second as to why that probably won't happen. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people silenced. You gotta remember last time that we played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, he outdueled Mahomes. That did happen. If he plays well and it leads to us winning a Super Bowl, I mean, say what you want, but you kind of have to put him in the top 5. Like, you kind of do. That would be a conversation that you would have to honestly have when it comes to Jalen. Like, is he a top 5 quarterback now, especially with him being able to beat an all-time great like Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs and stopping them from a three-peat? Do you get to put them in that tier? I don't know. Saquon Barkley. if we win this Super Bowl and Saquon Barkley's is the MVP, I think honestly it puts into perspective of this entire year for him. It really does. Because I think a lot of times, you know, and rightfully so, because it's funny and it's silly, we always revert back to Hard Knocks in the offseason and how the Giants handled the whole Saquon thing, and how we're kind of sitting there wondering, like, okay, they actually put this out? Okay. Kind of crazy, but whatever. And Saquon has the season that he has. And if y'all remember, when week 18 came around, he had a chance to break the record against the Giants, out of all people, which I've always said and still feel this way. It would have been so poetic for him to do so. He was telling people, hey, look, man, there's a bigger picture in mind, and I want that more than trying to go after a record. And now here's an opportunity for him to do that. This is an opportunity for him to do that. And if he does play well and he ends up winning the Super Bowl MVP on top of winning this game, I'm going to tell you right now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm tired of hearing about this, the Giants that. I'm sorry, man. That will be all off season long. All off season long. The Giants will be the butt of the joke. And the whole world will be laughing at them. It really would be that kind of party. So I think Barkley alone is someone who could easily, especially if he wins MVP, could this could turn his whole his whole season upside down for the better. So Saquon, I think another guy who, you know, if he wins it, like, you know, especially if he dominates, if AJ Brown ends up tearing up the Chiefs secondary, sheesh. I mean, he's you know, all the conversations all year long about how much of a diva he is and all this other stuff, like, it was all nonsense, to be honest with you. Like, I totally understood where he was coming from when he was, you know, voicing his opinions when it came to the passing game at one point in time. If he dominates in this game and they end up winning and they mess around, and whether it's Jalen or it's AJ that wins the MVP, I think that, like, I mean, because a lot of people act like he's not a top 5 wide receiver. He wins this game and he dominates. There's no discussion. There's no conversation. He is exactly that. Might even put him up there with, you know, the Jamar Chases, the Justin Jeffersons of the world. Like, that is a real conversation you can have. So AJ Brown there, yeah, he kind of crazy. Not gonna lie. Ends up as MVP. Now, like I said, man, like, there's so many different people that would benefit from this game. But I think us, the fans, those who are not gonna lie to everybody else and actually watch the game, I think we're gonna be in for a treat as well, because, you know, so many times we watch certain big time matchups and we're like, you know what, this is kind of predictable. We kind of know where this is gonna go. You know, I think back to the Warrior Kevin Durant years where they were just so dominant, so stacked, that literally, you know, you didn't really care to watch the finals. Like, you just didn't, because you knew that Golden State was going to be there, and you knew that it didn't matter who they played, they were going to beat the hell out of it. And it just wasn't an enjoyable watch. So it was always that level of uncertainty that wasn't there. And I think with this game, because there's so many different factors and so many things to look at as this game rolls on, like, you can't help but to just enjoy everything that comes with this game. You have an all-time great head coach. You have a all-time great quarterback who's looking to three-peat, looking to make history against a team who they've played 2 years ago, with a quarterback that everybody to this day still feels like he's not good enough. There are some people that still think that he's not a good quarterback in this league. There's a lot of people that's having questions about Nick Sirianni. By the way, rightfully so. There's questions about him. There's questions about, with given how good the run defense is for Kansas City, is Saquon really going to get his own? Is he really going to be as potent as he's been all postseason? Like, Vic Fangio. I saw a stat the other day. Vic Fangio is literally like, he has not won against Patrick Mahomes. Like, does that change? All these different things where you have to sit there and wonder, like, what the hell are we going to do? It's a real thing. It's a real question to ask. And I think all of those points is intriguing enough to watch this game. I really do. And now, obviously, it better not be a New England Rams Super Bowl from back in 2018. For those of you that don't remember how that game ended, go check it out. For all the wrong reasons. It ended 10-3. It was boring. There will be points on this board in this game on Sunday. So I think that alone, it's gonna be a lot of fun for sure. But yeah, man, I'm so pumped. We had Moving the Chains last night give a breakdown and give their insights on the game on Sunday. Like I said, when they were going live, I was at work, so I missed my opportunity to have my parade, if you will, which is fine. It's cool on the game. But man, it was just one of those things where like, you remember where you was if the Eagles stopped the three-peat. You remember where you were when the Chiefs do three-peat. Like, either way, either history's being made or history's being stopped. And off of that alone, like, that's all the excitement you need for this game. So I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, had a lot of people ask me, like, what's my prediction? Who do I have in this game? I will never, ever, 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 ever go against the Eagles. That is my team. That is my creme de la creme, if you will. I'm not backing down. I haven't backed down all year. I won't start now. This is our time. Let's show the world that we're capable of doing the unthinkable. We are underdogs in this fight. I'm seeing a lot of sports betting books saying that we are underdogs in this game. Let's put the mask back on, baby. Let's put the mask back on. I know we have pundits saying that we have the better roster and all this other stuff. That's not good enough. It's not good enough. Not good enough. This is our opportunity to do the unthinkable against one of the greatest teams that there would be assembled if they win. Like, seriously. the mix of young talent, the mix of veterans on the Chiefs roster. We beat that team. Oh yeah. It'll be a pretty big deal for sure. But I ain't gonna lie, given the way this entire week has been, the entire week has been, you would have never realized that the Super Bowl was happening this Sunday, because the NBA said, you know what, we're just gonna add a little bit more excitement to this. We have a trade deadline coming up, and we have a couple teams who are very, very adamant about making some shockwaves. And I would have never thought the shockwave would include the Mavs trading with the Los Angeles Lakers, out of all people. I would have never guessed they traded Luka Doncic look, everybody else, in fairness to them, everybody else that's involved in this trade, they are not the big storyline. Luka Doncic was sent to LA for Anthony Davis. I will say this again, because I couldn't even believe it when this happened. Luka Doncic was traded from Dallas to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. It's one of those things where I kind of just seen it all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I kind of really just seen it all when it comes to the NBA now. My initial reaction when I saw that trade went down was, is this a joke? Like, did somebody hack Sham's account? Hasn't even been a full year yet of him being in this role of breaking these stories and sharing the news with everybody. Like, his account's already getting hacked. That's not good. That's probably the most 2025 thing I've ever seen. Then he said yes. He posted another tweet and said, yes, this is real. Sorry, man. It's insane. It really is. Looks like Luka will be playing Monday. If you're watching this today, or whenever you're watching this, it looks like he'll be making his debut on Monday. I still can't believe it. It probably won't set in for me until he's on the floor in the uniform. I can't believe it. I really can't. I wish I had any more words to say about it. And I know a lot of people are like, acting like Anthony Davis is some kind of scrub. He's actually still pretty good at basketball, guys. Don't know if anybody's wondered that. He just, he's still pretty good. I know people have been having, what's funny? People have been having to poke fun at him for his injury history and him sitting out games and stuff. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but he's actually done a pretty great job at staying healthy throughout the past couple seasons now. And I'm very proud of him, because I thought that was a narrative that wasn't going to die. Hell, I was the one that was a part of the narrative my damn self, to be honest with you. But the fact that he is finding a way to take care of his body still is very impressive. Now, of course, you could point that to the fact that he's literally playing alongside LeBron James, out of all people, who is, taking care of his body at 40. But I just think the fact that he's done a great job of taking care of his body for the past couple of years has been very impressive. And look, I'm just very proud of him. There's not going to be a whole lot of people that's going to say it or acknowledge it, which is kind of a shame, but I appreciate it, AD. So good luck to both teams, I guess. I mean, Lakers weren't done. They got Mark Williams yesterday from Charlotte. So they got their big man, I guess. I'm not gonna lie and act like I'm familiar with Mark Williams' game. I think I might have bet on him a couple times in the past. I think he's come through for me. I gotta check now. Anyways, but you know, it would be a good help with what they already are, you know, trying to build in LA. Sheesh, I don't know. I feel like the Lakers just, I don't get it. It's like generation after generation, generational talent after generational talent. It's quite insane. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season turns out. Jimmy Butler got traded yesterday. No, I'm sorry. Was it yesterday? Day before. I'm getting my days mixed up. Yeah, the blender is real, guys. Sorry. Traded from Miami to Golden State. I'm a Warriors fan. I am not necessarily a fan of this move. It better work. Jimmy Butler talked about losing his joy being in Miami. I was kind of fed up with this whole Jimmy Butler trade request, suspension. We want you, we don't want you. I want to be here, I don't want to be. I was kind of tired of it. I ain't gonna lie to you. So the fact that we're actually having this come to a close, thank God, it's finally over. So yeah, I mean, let's see how that works out for Golden State. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you had told me this, you know, a month ago, I would have been like, don't really see that happening. Like, at all. Then it gets worse because I forgot to mention that De'Aaron Fox is in San Antonio now. So he's paired up with Wemby. Zach LaVine's in Sacramento. Like, this league here, man, it's literally insane. I am not even gonna lie to you. It really is. And it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season turns out. It really does. So but before we dive into more about the Super Bowl and everything else in between, I got a couple commercials for you with your name on it. Check it out.
In 2006, we founded Yeti Coolers with a simple mission: build the cooler we use every day if it existed. One that was built for the serious outdoor enthusiasts rather than for mass discount retailers. One that could take the abuse we knew we'd put it through, out in the field and on the water. One that simply wouldn't break. We decided early on that production innovation would come from necessity and first-hand experience, not from market research and data analysis. Today, Yeti products perform when it matters most. Whether that be an excursion into the remote Alaskan wilderness, chasing redfish on the Gold Coast, or just getting together with friends in the backyard, we make gear that helps you stay out longer, travel farther, and live harder.
Oh boy, welcome back to the Off the Dome show. I am your host, Thomas Brown Jr. on the ones and twos today. Wow. I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the NBA. Like, y'all are insane. I'm actually going to be going to a couple Spurs games later on. Actually, I think it's next month, actually. So I'll be able to watch the De'Aaron Fox and Wemby show live. I cannot wait for that. And then I'll also get to see Anthony Davis because it'll be the Mavs games. So me and a buddy of mine, we're gonna We're gonna head down there and watch those back-to-back games next month. Very excited for that. But yeah, man, I cannot wait. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Cannot wait. Man, it's just crazy. It really is. Got the halftime show with my boy Kendrick Lamar and SZA on the ones and twos. Cannot wait to see that. Look, man, I am curious what all he's going to play. Like, I want to play a guessing game real fast. Like, what are they going to? What is he going to put out there? I think one that goes without saying, he might save it for last. Would probably be, and if he does save it for last, kind of don't blame him. Would probably be Not Like Us. I know everybody's tired of the song, but I ain't gonna lie, it's the Super Bowl. That's the last song that you listen to. Hey, look, man, play that thing 7,000 times. I would still be acting like it's the first time I ever heard it. You have Not Like Us, I think. I think you will have to have 30 for 30 in there with SZA, with the album that she had dropped. I believe that was back in December when she dropped her deluxe album. So I think 30 for 30 would have to be on there. Luther as well. Like, I'm just naming like some of the kind of the big time like hits already. Luther would be one as well. Maybe you can do All the Stars come back, I guess. You could throw that in there. I think you would have to do Euphoria, man. I just feel like you have to. You have to do Euphoria. One Good Time. I think you would have to do what's another one? Squabble Up will probably be up there too, I think. Maybe. But I think the one that, if this doesn't get played, like, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? TV Off for sure. Cut the TV. Actually, that might be a good way to end the halftime show. TV Off. Nah, think about it. Yeah, that would be a good way to do that. Actually, now that I said it out loud, it should be Not Like Us and then TV Off and then have that be in the thing. Now that I said that out loud. That'd actually be a pretty smooth ending, if you will. I ain't gonna lie to you. And it would, it would send a message for sure. I ain't gonna lie to you. Strong message. So very excited, looking forward to that. Cannot wait to see that. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be so crazy. From the game to the halftime show to who wins it, who wins MVP. Look, man, I am excited. I cannot wait. Look, this is what it's all about, baby. I can't believe it's coming to an end already, man. I really, it's kind of, it's paining me to even say those words right now, but coming to an end before our very eyes, y'all. And yeah, like, we're here now. We really are. So yeah, everybody enjoy the game. Let us know who you have winning. And I'm looking I'm looking forward to it, man. I really cannot wait. I really cannot wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Like I said, I just want to watch a good game. And hopefully, it will be the Eagles that stand tall. But yeah, man, cannot wait. Again, let us know who you have winning this game, who you have as far as the final score is concerned. I'm very curious. And again, man, like, share, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. We got a new X account. Yeah, don't ask us how that happened. A little BS if you ask me, but I'll just leave that there. But we do have a new account where you can still check out all of our content, all of our articles. Actually, I'll be starting to write on the Spurs in a little bit, so you'll start to see me having some articles out there. It's been a long time since I've done since I've written some articles, so that'll be an interesting journey as well. I just figured with me being in San Antonio, like I figured that, hey, why not? And yeah, man, I have another podcast that I'm on. We will actually be going live Sunday morning to talk about the game, the DK and Tree podcast, with my co-host Damon Davis, my mentor, he's my guy, kind of man. What's the phrase? He's my man, $100,000. There you go. I had to figure that out. Anyways, yeah. So, if you don't see me here, you will see me on the pod Sunday morning. Hopefully the overnight blunders doesn't happen to me again. But yeah, man, I'm so excited. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. And let's watch a great game, man. I hope it's us that comes out on top. So, again, this is your host, Thomas Brown Jr. You can follow me, as you see here, on Instagram and on X, at __ terrific Tom _ because it's infinite around here. And like I said, I'll start doing some posting, some articles. I'm sorry. Trying to get that together. Start writing on the San Antonio Spurs pretty soon, so you'll start seeing my name pop up a couple times in regards to them, especially with me being in the area. So I'll maximize that, have fun with that, enjoy the game, and yeah, man, like I said, let's have a good time, enjoy it with your close loved ones, family members. Have all the Super Bowl parties necessary. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the festivities. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. It really is. So, like I said, man, let us know who you have winning this game. Let us know what the final score will be, and everything in between. And let's see if the next time you see me, if I'm going to be drinking something very strong, or if I'm going to be drinking something very smooth and screaming to the top of my lungs. We will find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again, and see ya.